So it's being collective. We know who's going to be on the matchup in the guards, but it's going to take all of us being tied in, helping. It's not just one guy stopping Maxi or Embiid. It's going to be a collective effort. So being really locked in, making sure we're making it difficult for them, and then being able to get stops and push the pace and play the game at on terms and our pace and our style of play.
The Sixers, when they have Embiid, that's them at their best, right? Yeah. So when you have that large human being to deal with that's very skilled, plus obviously their backcourt, where does the defensive focus have to start?
I think they're pretty methodical on where they want to go. Sometimes they go down low for him and sometimes to Maxi. So it's hard, but you got to make that adjustment of sometimes it's a Maxi possession and sometimes it's an Embiid possession, and then they got other guys like Edgecombe too that can attack off a closeout.
One thing about the Milwaukee game, particularly that stretch where you guys couldn't score, Spo was noting there still were looks that you guys could have knocked down. It's just basketball, but it was the defensive stops that were needed. What was the thing that didn't click there that is going to have to tonight if you're going to pull out a win?
I mean, yeah, if you don't make shots, of course it's the defense. You can't really worry about the shots, so you got to double down on the defense. But tonight, I mean, it's going to be a lot of rotations and getting over screens and getting over Embiid screens to get to Maxi, and then making Embiid feel two or multiple bodies every time he catches the ball.
Bam win. The Sixers are at full strength as far as they can be. They don't have Paul George, obviously, but with Embiid in with those guards, where does the defensive focus have to begin with them?
We got to swarm them, make them take difficult shots, and then we got to keep our pace up.
When you look to those last 6 minutes the other night, Spo was just telling us all the offense stuff was where it needed to be. Shots don't go in, they don't. Sometimes they do. But defensively, what could have been better down the stretch? Do you feel that it's going to have to be tonight?
We had too many mental lapses, and we got to stop having that in the late game. I feel like we would have cut those points in half. We would have walked out with a 1 or 2 point win.
Norman, if you do not mind getting us up to date on what happened with the groin.
Just some groin tightness. I was feeling it for a little bit, even before the Milwaukee game. So the medical staff after the game, I was feeling a little bit the next morning. So try to get some treatment on it and see how I feel a little bit later.
Assuming you'll be on the floor or not, your insight on what's key with the Sixers is critical because their team sometimes changes. It looks like Embiid's going to go tonight, but what tends to be the top focus is the way that their guards play plus having that monster in the middle?
The biggest thing is our defensive effort and focus tonight. Obviously, that they have tremendous talent with Maxi and Edgecombe, and then especially when Embiid plays, they like 21 and 11 or something like that. So it's being collective. We know who's going to be on the matchup in the guards, but it's going to take all of us being tied in, helping. It's not just one guy stopping Maxi or Embiid. It's going to be a collective effort. So being really locked in, making sure we're making it difficult for them, and then being able to get stops and push the pace and play the game at on terms and our pace and our style of play.
Do you feel like the growing is wear and tear, or is there a specific play you remember every time?
I just think it's something that's built up over time, just playing through it and trying to manage it. But, it wasn't one specific play where I was like, I felt something go or whatever. I just think the accumulative stress in that area.
The back you've been dealing with, and now this just not being able to feel it.
It's really frustrating, but at this point in the season, I feel like everybody's going through something. So it's all about pain tolerance and management. For me, you guys know I'm going to always try to push through it. I have a very high pain tolerance, so being able to play through a couple games with the back soreness and things like that, and then also just being able to play through groin issues or any soft tissue stuff, I try to push my body as much as I can. It's kind of crazy because coming here last time, I had the groin issue on the left side, and now I have dealing with the right. But just continuing trying to manage my body, take care of my body, and be able to be available as much as possible.
Learning, getting to know Norm a little bit better, that he always wants to try to go, wants to try to push. What's the best balance here in this space? Obviously a critical game, but it's the groin area, and that's always challenging.
Yeah, and he knows his body as well as anybody. He'll go through his process. Tonight, he was able to go through the shoot-around, and we'll see where he is then.
With the Sixers, obviously when Embiid plays, their best selves. Looks like he's going to go tonight. What tends to be the top job when you want to focus on him, but obviously those two guards get your full attention as well?
Yeah, they have the record they have, when he's available for a reason. They've played at a high level, 21-12, I believe. And he presents, some different challenges, the way he draws fouls. He'll play 28 minutes, but it's 28 minutes of great skill and physicality, in the post and high post. So you have to deal with that, but then you're clearly dealing with Maxey and Edgecombe's speed, in the open court. So they balance between the two styles. We have our style. We want to make sure that we get to our style, as often as we can, as we, get the game on our terms.
Defensively, obviously, was a top 5 defense. But last game, this in that fourth quarter, what are you seeing in those lapses where you guys can be so dominant on that end?
Yeah, that's what's disappointing. We have a higher level that we can get to. That's as high as anybody in this league, really on both sides of the floor. It's a matter of doing it, consistently. The other night, our offensive process, I felt it after the game, and then after watching the film, it was solid. We missed 6-7 open threes in the fourth. We generated 16 free throw attempts. We missed 5 of those, but we missed a layup. So we had some good things, good process of generating the right looks, but we needed a great defensive quarter, and it wasn't anything tricky that they're running. It was double screens, with Porter with the ball. That's our strength zone when we're at our best, and we paid the price for that dearly, the other night. So now we'll move on to a different challenge. Philly, they play a totally different way than Milwaukee, but our defense is built and versatile enough, to make it disruptive, against anyone.
Here's three good point guards to choose from, obviously, this year. Drew, Kaz, and Davion. What are you basing the decision on? Like late in the game, last game, where maybe you turned to Drew, late in the game, Kaz in the first half. What are you kind of basing those decisions?
Yeah, it was in the third quarter. We're trying to get to our zone for a little bit during that stretch, and Drew is really dynamic in our zone. And it's not an indictment on Kaz. Kaz is in the rotation. It was just a feeling for those 4 or 5 minutes. We were able to push the lead to 8. And then it just disappeared within less than a minute, at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And that's where we have to have that killer instinct to be able to push that to 12, 15 points.